Greetings everyone and welcome to the first of what I'm sure will be many of my YouTube videos. I'm Kharam the Druid. I'm a restoration druid, which means I'm a healing druid. And if you've ever seen videos from WowHobs or Cider Helm, my videos are going to be pretty much along the same lines, as I'm just going to share with you my thoughts and opinions and let you see the game through my eyes. So here we go. The first dungeon we're going to do is Utgarde Keep, also known as UK. As you can see, the first thing that I do when I go into any dungeon is immediately set focus on the tank. This basically just helps me keep an eye on the tank as I'm healing the other players. And it also is easier for me to see when the life bloom stacks are worn off. For those of you who don't know, life bloom is a stackable heal over time that heals over time stronger with each stack. So you definitely want to keep that on your tank as much as possible when you go through a dungeon. And this was actually test footage that I shot because I was trying to work out some of the lag that most people, including myself, get from recording with fraps. But it came out rather well, so I decided to use it for my first video anyway. I remember years ago coming here on one of my other characters for the first time and seeing the what was then the new fire effects, and just being completely amazed by it. And it actually, in a weird sort of way, made the whole dungeon more enjoyable for me. Just the fact that I was, able to see it throughout a lot of the dungeon. And even to this day, the dungeon is still a lot of fun. And you'll see here, keeping life bloom on the tank. I also pop efflorescence here. This is kind of twofold for this particular situation because it allows me to, first of all, loot, and secondly, it also keeps the tank and the melee DPS's health bars up while I am looting, actually. So overall, this group was actually really good, and I didn't really have to do a whole lot as far as healing. As far as which kind of group I enjoy healing more, whether it be a group that's easy to heal or a group that's difficult to heal, I personally kind of like both. I kind of see, the upside to both. Ones that are easy to heal makes the dungeon a little bit more fun and a little bit more relaxing, but on the other hand, ones that are hard to heal are ones that are, obviously going to be more challenging for me. You'll see that the mobs here, from a tank perspective, are still pretty easy to control. Even with all the new changes to, all the game mechanics and everything else, they're still really easy to keep in one group. And controlling the aggro pretty much is a non-issue on this particular dungeon. It always has been, and it probably always will be. So for you tanks out there, that are, up and coming and in your level 70s, be prepared for this dungeon, but also know that it's probably going to be pretty easy for you. I did notice through all the changes and everything that warriors actually got better at tanking, and from a healing perspective, they actually got easier to heal than what they were prior to patch 4.0. And I've actually been really impressed with a lot of the warrior tanks that I've seen. On the other hand, the paladin tanks, I don't feel they're as good as what they used to be. And my other character before this one was actually a paladin tank, and after 4.0, I just felt like I was crap as far as the tank goes. Maybe that's just me or how I'm doing it or what I'm seeing, but again, it just appears to me that warrior tanks are back to being the #1 tanks like they were in Vanilla WoW. As a healer, one of the things that you have to be conscious of is basically when to use your heals or heal over times. Like for me personally, if I cast Life Bloom on the tank too soon as he's going, in to get the aggro and everything, a lot of times it would cause the aggro to come on me, and obviously that's not what I want to do. I noticed a lot of the tanks have an AoE effect, like paladins have consecration, and death knights have blood soak, I believe it's called, and the warriors have one. But mainly what you want to do is just wait and watch for them, and when they hit the area of effect, then go ahead and start throwing out your hots on the tank. You'll see in just a second here that I pop regrowth on everybody. Even though it wasn't really needed, I knew that the tank and the DPSs were going to go right into the next mob in the upper left corner there. So I kind of just wanted to give them something to keep them going. And, just basically make it a little easier for me healing-wise. And, of course, looting as well. Can never forget that. As I said earlier, there's pretty much no downtime at all as far as healing goes. At least not most of the time anyway. So any chance that I can get to loot, I'm gonna take it. It also kind of depends on the tank and what their pace is too. As a healer, you kind of have to adapt to their pace and everything, which is something that I'd like to think I'm pretty good at, but I'm also trying to get better at it at the same time. If you look on my hotbar, you'll notice the first 7 slots are dedicated to basically healing spells and healing over time spells. Shadow Meld is after that, just in case I do get any aggro on me. And the last 4 are attack spells, which I never really use because I figure as long as I keep myself and everybody else healed, then there's really no reason for me to use any attack spells. But I like to have them there, just in case. And now through the magic of video editing, we will go right to the end boss. This particular one is named Ingvar the Plunderer, or as I jokingly like to call him, Ingvar the Blunderer. You'll see, again, basically my philosophy here is the same as, with the mobs. Stack Life Bloom on the tank, maximum 3 times, as always, and just try to keep everybody else up. You'll see in a second here that he's going to go down, at least for the first time, before he gets resurrected. And some people like to hide behind a pillar, some people don't. I personally like to, just in case. You'll see right before he dies here, though, that he puts on a fairly damaging AoE effect. So I just use Wild Growth and pick up the ones with Rejuvenation that didn't get picked up with Wild Growth. Typically what I'll do here after Ingvar gets resurrected is I'll go into Tree of Life and I'll come out and I'll use my bonus healing to keep everybody healed up through the battle. With this particular group though, I didn't really do it because I didn't really feel I needed to do it, because as I said earlier, the group was really good and he made healing for me really easy. You'll see here that I do pop Efflorescence. This is mainly just to keep the DPS and tank going while I catch up on healing a little bit if I need to. And he's going to go down in a second. There he goes. All in all, like I said, it was a great group. It was a fun run. UK is always a fun run for me. It's something I always really enjoy. And of course, with proper etiquette, you congratulate everybody, tell them thank you for the group. And I like to throw in a little slash bow there at the end before I leave the dungeon. And that'll do it for me. I hope you enjoyed watching my first video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and leave your comments down below. Until next time, everybody, happy healing.